Hello guys, good morning. So today I am again back with another video which tells about 3 myths every beginner programmer should know. So yeah, when we start programming there are many kinds of myths going on in our mind. So out of which three of the myths I will be solving in this video, and many of you were asking or requesting for a new mic so that the audio quality gets better and better. So yep, yesterday I bought a new beak with the help of Bagesh. So shout out to Bagesh. So yeah, this is presented by me, known as Dharmik Pajwani or also known as Bagesh. So without wasting any further time, let's start the video. So okay, so the first myth which every programmer, with every beginner programmer is having, and when I started the programming, even I was having such a myth that a program could be written anywhere. Okay, so when I started the programming, some of the programmers were writing a program in a specialized software, or any other software other than Notepad. So yeah, I thought that no, a program can be written over here only. We can't write program in Notepad. But now, as I am saying, a program could be written anywhere. Okay, so program could be written anywhere. Literally, yes, anywhere. If you wish, you can write in Notepad, as I told you, or any other IDE, or known as Integrated Development Environment. Now, what is IDE? I will be telling in the further video. Means in the next slide. Okay. So moving on, the only thing necessary is compiler or interpreter of that specific language. Yeah, if you are writing in Notepad, you need a compiler or interpreter of that specific language. But if you are using IDE, you do not require such things. Okay. So moving further, next point, again it is not necessary to install any specialized software for a specific language. Notepad is enough. Yeah, any of the language you pick up, either it is PHP, Java, C++, C, Python, Android, any programming language, you can just write in the Notepad. There is no need to install any specialized software or a language specific software. Yeah, uh, you are installing a special software or say ID just for the sake of easiness. Your job becomes easy, but when you use Notepad it becomes tedious because it do not show recommendations. It is not as smart as IDs. So yeah, people used to prefer some IDs, specialized IDs for a specialized language. Okay, for that specific language. Okay, so moving further, sorry, Notepad and IDE are not the same. Yeah, Notepad is a different thing and IDE is a way too different thing. Okay, so when I started the programming, the basic programs I used to do in Notepad like HTML, CSS, C, basic C. Okay, so many of my seniors were writing some these programs in IDEs. There are many IDEs in the market which are open source, and even which comes with some prices, some specialized software. Yeah. So when I started the programming, so I was writing in the Notepad, but as I passed, as I become as little bit of program, senior program, so I came to know that no, there are some things which are known as IDEs. So moving further, I will tell you what is IDE. An IDE or integrated development environment is a programming tool that integrates several specialized tools. Yeah. So in the previous slide, I told you that if you are using a Notepad, you need to have that specific language compiler or interpreter, whatever it uses. So yeah, that's an you can tell a disadvantage of a Notepad. But if using an IDE, you just need that language specific IDE, and it has this all the things I mentioned. Okay, so it has a text editor, of course, code autocomplete function. Yep. So many a times you don't know function, or you are not knowing a syntax of a specific statement. Okay, so ID recommends you the syntax of that specific statement, so you do not need to mug up that all the syntax of each and every thing you are learning about that language. Moving forward, build procedure that includes compiler, linker, and whatnot. Okay, so as I told you, if you are using an ID, it gives inbuilt compiler, linker, and whatnot. Yeah, whatever the specific language is using, each and everything is present in the IDE. Okay, moving further, it also has its own debugger. Yes, file or project manager. See, a very important point. Using Notepad, you cannot manage your files or projects when you are using when you are working on a big project. So you used to be work with many tons and tons of files. So yeah, it could be easily handled with the help of an IDE rather than a notepad. Okay. So performance profiler, it's a performance profiler and a deployment tool. Yep. You can also use an IDE as a deployment tool. So these are some key advantages of an IDE compared to notepad. Moving forward, IDEs can be used as text editors. Note it, and text editors can be used as IDEs. But the only disadvantage of an text editor is it does not have its inbuilt compiler, interpreter, or debugger, and so on. Okay. With an IDE, you should do a lot more within a single program, running, debugging, version control, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so many vast variety of things you can do with the help of IDE rather than a simple text editor. Okay, so Notepad is a text editor, but what is Notepad? So Notepad is a simple text editor for Microsoft Windows, as I told you, and a basic text editing program which enables computer users to create documents. Okay, so a simple file or simple document or simple program can be created easily with the help of Notepad. It was first released as a mouse-based MS-DOS program in 1983 and has been included in all the versions of Microsoft Windows since Windows 1.0 in 1985. Is so in the previous slide I told you that you do not need to have any specialized software or specialized IDE to run a program, but Notepad is enough. But when you want to save time and when you are working on a big project, so I recommend that IDE is necessary. Yeah, you can do it with Notepad, but it becomes quite a tedious task. Okay, so moving forward, so this is what an IDE looks like. Okay, this is an Eclipse IDE. I have been using it for the Java, C++, everything can be used within this. So yeah, so when you see this, this is the project or file manager. Okay, so plenty of the files are there, and they are managed quite easily with the help of Eclipse. Okay, so this is an text editor. Okay, you can write all the source code over here. Okay, and this is the debugging window, so it tells what all you need to do. Okay, this is an Eclipse IDE. Moving forward, this is Sublime Text, one of the best IDE for C++, Java, etc., etc. Many languages are supported in Sublime Text. Okay, the main thing which fascinates me for this IDE is its colors. Okay, there are vast variety of colors which tells you which are variables, what are keywords, which all are keywords, and which all are statements or which all are commands. Okay, so that is the best advantage of this Sublime Text. This is a simple notepad. Okay, so see, this doesn't provide you, of course, file manager, as I told you. Even this doesn't provide you a vast variety of color combinations. Okay, so this is just a simple text editor, you can use it for. Okay, one of the best IDs I have been ever using is VS Code, Visual Studio Code. It's best IDE. Each and every language is supported in that, just you need to install the extension of that specific language. Okay, moving forward, the third and the last myth is software and program are not the same thing. Yes, software is a totally different thing and program is totally different thing. Okay, so we will know the difference in this slide. Okay, so basic points of comparison: what is program and what is a software. Okay, so when looking at the description of program and software, both are same. Program is a set of instructions written in a programming language used to execute a specific task or particular function. The same is software. Okay, but the real difference comes in the further points. Okay, which are the program does not have further categorization. Okay, but a software can be categorized into two categories: application software or system software. Okay, so there are many system software. For example, calculator. Okay, calculator comes within the system when we install Windows, so that is so it is known as system software. But if you play any game, for example, you say Tension Gaming Buddy, it's an emulator for to play PUBG Mobile on the Windows. So yeah, it's an application software. So there are many kinds of many kinds of application software as well as system softwares. Okay, so the softwares which come with when we install the Windows OS, they are known as system software. Okay, Then flexibility. The program cannot be software. Yeah, it's a very important thing. A program can never be a software, but software can be a program. Okay. So software comprises of many programs. Okay. So when we write a program, it isn't called a software. Okay. But when we do a program, it can be called a software. Okay. Consists of A program consists of set of instructions which are coded in programming language like C, C++, Java, etc. Okay. Set There are many instructions and a very huge code present in the program. But when we compare it to software consists of bundles of programs and data files. As I told you that many programs merge and become a software. Okay. Programs in specific software use these data files to perform a dedicated type of task. Okay. So when we want to do a dedicated type of task, a software is best source. Okay. Moving forward, user interface. Program do not have a user interface. Yes, program will never have any user interface, but every software has a dedicated user interface. This is the main point we should be noting. Okay, every software has a dedicated user interface. Moving forward, development. A program is developed either by single programmer or a group of programmer, and the same is in the software. A software is developed by either a single programmer or a group of programmers. Then moving forward, compilation. A program is compiled every time when we get to generate some output from it. Okay, when we need to generate some output, every time we need to compile it. But when we compare it to software, a software is compiled, tested and debugged during the development process. So when the software is in development process, it is known as program. And when we are writing a program, it needs to be compiled every time when we need to generate an output. Okay. So functionalities and features. Program has limited functionality and less features. Yes, it's very obvious. But software has lots of functionality and features such as GUI, input, output, data process, etc. So when we bifurcate the software, it becomes a program. Okay. So pieces of program make a huge software or make a total software. Okay. Your final software. Dependability. Programs functionality always dependent on compiler. Okay. So it always a program when we write a program and when we need to run or when we need to get the output of the program, it will always call the compiler and will tell, hey compiler, just run me or just execute me and tell the output to the client. Okay. But when we compare it to software, a software is totally dependent on OS. Okay. What's your processing power, which type of OS, it totally depends on this criteria. Sorry. Moving forward, creation time. A program takes less time to build make. Okay. Yeah, it's just a simple and easy thing, but because software comprises many programs, so yeah, it takes huge bulky amount of time. Okay. Software takes relatively more time to build when compared to program. Okay. Moving forward, development approach. Program development approach is unprocedural, unorganized and unplanned. Okay. So yeah, many there are many programs, so you can go anywhere you wish and you can modify or edit or you can even make a new program. But software development approach is systematic and organized and very well planned. Okay. So when I used to study, there are many software development approaches. Okay. And it needs to be in a planned manner. Okay. You cannot do that today we will do this task, then tomorrow we will do this task. No, it used to be in the planned manner, and you need to pre-plan it. That if you are doing if you are if you are developing a software, sorry, if you are developing a software, you need to plan it 2-3 months before when you are developing the software. Okay. So coming to the size criteria, the size of program ranges in kbs or mbs, means kilobytes or megabytes. Yeah, program is a small thing. Yeah, program is a very small piece of code, means it is a very huge piece of code, but when you compare it to software, it is very small. Okay. And the size of software obviously ranges in megabytes and gigabytes, mbs and gbs. Okay. So here are some examples of programs as well as softwares. Okay, these are the programs and these are the software. So the main program, or say the basic program, which is the key, or which is heart of the OS is, or heart of the Windows is OS. Okay. Each and every OS is a program. Okay. The moving forward, Office suite, video games, malware. Yeah, it's also a program. A web browser like Mozilla Firefox and Apple Safari. These all are programs. Okay, but moving towards the software, Microsoft Word. You know how much big in size it is, and yeah, it is also a bulky program. Microsoft Excel, VLC, Media Player, Firefox, Adobe, Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac, Linux, Unix, sorry, Mac, etc. See, the main difference is Firefox here and Mozilla Firefox here. When it has no output, when the Firefox has no output, it is known as program. Okay, but when it shows the output, there are many services which are running in the background. They are also known as programs. Okay, yeah, they are known as services, but at the end of the day they do not have output, and they just used to run or execute a piece of code, very small piece of code. So it is no, so Mozilla Firefox comes even in the program and even in the software. Okay, so thank you. These were the three basic means you need to know, every beginner programming need to know. And even there are programmers, professional programmers, we do not know these myths, very small amount, in a very small amount, but yeah, there are. So thank you. I hope this video will be a very important and educational video for all of you. So we will see you guys in the next video. But hey, did you subscribe the channel? No, you still hadn't subscribed the channel. Please do subscribe the channel and hit that like button. And if you have any queries, or if you want to request any video related to programming languages or related to computer, just comment down below. Okay, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe the channel. Okay, so see you guys in the next video. Till then, goodbye.